So now we're going to look at our other mill. This is a small CNC router. We use this for making printed circuit boards, so prototyping. So normally when you get electronics, you see them, they look something like this. They're green, they have all of these little components and all these little different traces or tracks on them for the actual circuit. What we can do on this machine is we can prototype this exact circuit with a single-sided copper board. And so we're going to take something that looks like this and we're going to cut into it so that it looks like this new little circuit board. And we're going to see that this looks pretty similar to the other CNC that we have. When we plug it in to our laptop, the first thing we have to do is home it. So it's going to start off just trying to figure out where it is. So if you use any type of circuit making software, whether it's KiCad, Altium, Eagle, any of the standards, you're going to have an export format. It's called a Gerber file. That Gerber file is what you need to input to this machine. So you need to work in that format in order for the machine to be able to read the files. But once you have that format, you already are going to have your toolpath set up for you. You don't need to do any extra work. And so you should see when you bring in that file, all of your circuit traces and or holes should show up directly in here. This is going to be an exact representation of what you're about to cut. So I already have a 30-second end mill in here, so I don't need to change the tool. If you did, we have both wrenches here that live on top of the machine, so you'd be able to just quickly swap that out. In this case, all we need to do to start is install our material. So for this machine, it's pretty simple. We can pop this window off and we're just gonna tape this down. You can put down as much or as little tape as you need for these. I normally put down just a couple of stripes of tape to hold it down. Once we have that tape down, we have everything set in place, we're pretty much ready to get started. It's pretty simple once you have that Gerber file in place. So I'm gonna, just to check, make sure it knows how long this tool is, I'm gonna tell it that I'm installing a new tool like I would at the beginning of a job. So I have a 30-second flat end mill installed right now. It's gonna come over and do a tool touch off just to figure out exactly how long that tool is. And so you can see it's gonna come down right next to the edge of the board, just to tap down on the aluminum bed. Okay. And now we're ready to run this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it. So that's it. Some things just to note about the machine. Again, the E-stop is over here on this side, so that's where you're just starting cutting a board. You're gonna wanna keep your hand here just to make sure everything goes well. We can pop this off, and then we just pry this back up. And so this was a very simple circuit. This took probably 5 minutes altogether. You can pull the tape off the back, and you can see that we've got our profile. We've got 2 little holes where this board gets screw mounted down. And we've got our nice simple little circuit here, once we brush all of our dust off, that we can now solder our components onto, and we could do some testing with this prototype board. So that's really it for this machine. Same as with all of the CNCs, once you're done, you're gonna vacuum out all of the dust and the mess that you've made, clean up right after. In this case, I've got some tape still stuck in here that I need to pull out as well. But that's it. So you can have your first circuit board in just a few minutes.